do what we have done in the case of interest rate futures. In the case of interest rate futures, we were betting on what? Please flip over the register. I might take that same example only. Underlying asset was what? Bond. Underlying asset was bond. And what we have done is, if your expectation, we would have made this kind of a thing, expectation and a future position. Expectation and future position. And in that, our expectation, let's suppose, was interest rate increasing. I'm just summarizing it, please, what we have done in the previous session. Interest rate increasing, future position will go is short. And please understand, we were not shorting the interest rate. We were not shorting the interest rate. We were shorting underlying asset. Our IRF was what? We were shorting what? Underlying asset was interest bearing asset. Interest bearing asset. Yes, sir. And what we have seen is, it was a very straightforward exercise. We were short here. If I was a borrower, let's suppose, if the interest rate increases, if I was a borrower and interest rate increases, let's suppose, there is no problem, because this short position will give me the benefit. Yes, sir, this was there. In case, sir, interest rate decreasing, we have also done, then this position was what? Long. This is what we have done. And in this, I think we would have taken the example, and the IRF was price was what? IRF priced was basically, you can see that out, it was basically 100 minus that reference rate. I think that something was there. Yes, sir. And what we have done was, let's suppose you were F minus at, I think the data was something, let's suppose you were F minus at 94.5, and if the price becomes 93.5, you get the profit out of it. That was a cash settlement. On this kind of a front, we would have done that. If I have sold at 94.5 and the price becomes what? 93.5, or let's suppose I have sold at 90 and price becomes uh, below that, I would be profiting. And because the underlying asset has an inverse relationship with what? It has inverse relationship with the bond price. Now what I want to discuss with you is something additional part to it, that if, let's suppose, if I have interest rate futures, let's suppose this is my interest rate futures. What we did was, last time, we were basically, I'm assuming, in interest rate futures, let's suppose you are short. That means you have sold something. You sold something at 95 and price became 94, 1 rupees profit comes out. You sold something at 95, price became 94 and 1 rupee profit comes out. That means basically cash settlement happens. This is cash settled. That means you have settled the cash. Let's suppose if actual delivery has to be given. Then what? Let's suppose if actual delivery has to be given, then what? Please understand what I'm saying. Your position is short. If you settle down, it's perfectly fine. You settled that. I did the minus at some rate and plus at that. That was a simpler part, what we have seen in the previous session. Now let's suppose I'm short here, and if I'm short here and I have to give the actual delivery, then what happens? In this case, if I have to give, now think logically, please. Before I tell you, we might be using few terms here, which terms I'll dictate, don't worry, but help me out, please. Do not worry about anything. I'll dictate everything what I'm saying. What I have to do is, if I have to give someone delivery, then I'll have to buy from market. Say yes, Nalai. Yes, I'll have to buy from market. It means buy from the market and give the delivery. Now, if you have to buy from the market and give the delivery, would you like to increase your cost, or basically you will like to buy cheaper or expensive? That means, for example, let's suppose, simple way I'm saying, if I have to give a delivery of a bond and I have to buy from the market, would I like to buy expensive? Means, would I be want to incur higher cost or a lower cost? I would like that whatever the lower cost comes, that I should incur. Yes, sir. Now in this case, we have a concept in which there are n number of bonds available. In the market. Which bond should I buy? There are n number of bonds available in the market. Which bond should I buy? Simple answer from your side will come, sir. Sir, what is the harm? Buy the cheapest bond, which is the cheapest available. The word is directly coming from your side. Yes. Now let's suppose bonds have a different coupon rates and different maturities. Bonds can have a different coupon rates and different maturities. If the bonds have a different coupon rates and different maturities, how would I decide? Now for that purpose, we have some way out to look at what would be my cheapest part out. That means one thing is for sure, I have to buy and give the delivery. That means when I buy and give the delivery, some cash will come. Maybe let's suppose I have done future settlement price is 94, future settlement price in which I have to give. I let's suppose simple language I'm saying, I will receive some cash. Now I have to buy from the market. Now which bond should I buy and deliver such that my cost is minimized or my profit is maximized? That has to be the objective. Now before I move forward, I'll show you some data. Please do not copy the data. I'll dictate few terms. After dictating those terms, I'll ask you to copy the data accordingly. So please do not copy anything. I'll dictate some terms, copy after that, and then I'll tell you when to copy that example, because I want to get familiarized with few terms. Is that fine? One part was directly cash settlement. Now the settlement, I have to give the delivery. Now what happens is, now look at this part please. I have taken one example here. Do not copy anything please. Do not copy anything. Do not copy. Let's suppose in the market, quoted price means there are n number of bonds available in the market from where I can buy. This is my settlement price, future settlement price at which I would have done my agreement. Now prima facie, when you look at, do not look at anything which I'm not telling you. Quoted price means the bonds available in the markets are available at this price: 99.5, 143.5, 119.75. You have to buy any one of them and give the delivery. Now in your mind, you know what comes in your mind? What comes in your mind comes in, sir, cheapest bond is 99.5, we can buy and give. But my dear nalaik, we cannot say that 99.5 is cheaper than this for the purpose of delivery. Reason being, they could have different maturity periods, they could have different coupon rates, so we cannot say that. After, in front of that, I have written conversion factor. In front of them I have written a conversion factor. Now what does it mean? These factors, these conversion factor, are being published by NSE. Basically they'll give you, so we are not going into complexity of how to calculate, although we can calculate assuming some coupon and comparing the rates of these bonds. That could be possibility, but we are not doing. These conversion factors are basically are issued because deliverable bonds, that means any of the bonds which you buy, deliverable bonds, have different maturities and coupon rates. To make them comparable each other, the RBI introduced a conversion factor which are being published by the NSE. I'll dictate word to word, please, no need to copy that. Now when I deliver something, that means I'll get some cash. When I deliver something, I'll get cash. Yes sir, I'll get cash. Now how much amount I'll get? How much amount? And I'm short in the market. Short means I have to deliver. That means short means basically you have to buy and give the delivery. Now the conversion factor, let's suppose if I multiply this conversion factor into 93.25 into, this will be actual delivery price for a given deliverable bond, or I can say in simple words, it's a cash received by, it's a cash received by party with short position. It means if I have to give the delivery 1.032 1.032 into 93.25, 1.032 into 93.25 would be the cash which I'll be receiving if I give this bond. Yes sir, that's fine. Now I'll have to buy the bond also from the market. I'll have to buy the bond also from the market. This bond whose conversion factor is 1.032 is the available at 99.5. So basically if I tell you straightforward, if I tell you, whatever dictation I'll do will be around this term only. Please look up once, and no need to worry. Once we write the theory, once we come back to the practical again, things would be very easier. If I buy something at 99.5, that is what my cost of purchase. That's something I purchased. It's a cost which comes out. Now at what price I'm giving the delivery, this is what I'm giving. So difference of these two basically would be my cost or profit, whatever it comes out. I would like to maximize profit or reduce cost. Basically, we call it as cheapest bond will buy. Cheapest bond is not comparing these three, please. Cheapest bond is not comparing these three. It might appear as if these are the cheapest. It is not so. Cheapest it what reduces my cost. I purchase something, I sell something. I purchase something, I sell something. So conversion factor is one dictation I'll do. What is the conversion factor? Although it has not never been asked, but I feel that there could be a possibility, chances could be lower side, very lower side could be there, because you will not find the applicability very common. So we say conversion factor basically is to make the bonds with different maturities and coupon rates comparable. That is the objective. Multiplying conversion factor into the settlement price at which you have done the agreement to settle at, this will give you actual delivery price. That means it's a kind of a cash received by party. That means I'll be receiving that cash. Now what rate I'll buy the bond? I'll buy the bond at quoted spot price, and difference of these two could be a profit or loss. So we'll try to find something using conversion factor, and then we'll find cheapest bond. Cheapest bond is not that whose price is cheapest. It is not whose price is cheapest. Cheapest bond is difference of cost and sell. Cost and sell comes as the lowest. No need to copy, please. I am assuming we have not even seen the example I saw. Just for the sake you get familiar with the terms. Can I dictate the terms, please, first? Yes, sir. Then I'll do the exam. In fact, I'll not do. You will only do the example. Let's put down, please. Let's put down conversion factor. First heading. Let's put down, please, conversion factor. All the deliverable bonds, all the deliverable bonds have different maturities, have different maturities and coupon rates. Have different maturities and coupon rates. To make them comparable, to make them comparable to each other. That means because they have a different maturities. Let's put down. Then I'll explain once again. To make them comparable to each other, RBI introduced conversion factor. Can it be calculated? Yes. We are not going into that complexity. It will be given to you by the NSE. Conversion factor for each deliverable bond. Conversion factor. Deliverable bond. So, deliverable bond. Conversion factor for each deliverable bond is being published by NSE. All the deliverable bonds have different maturities and coupon rates. To make them comparable each other, RBI introduced conversion factor. That means now they would be on the similar lines. Now we can put down the formula here, please. Actual delivery price. Actual delivery price for a given deliverable bond. Actual delivery price for a given deliverable bond is equal to conversion factor into, we can call it as a future price or future settlement price, or sometime they also call it, I think, quoted future price. So it's okay, perfectly fine. Conversion factor into future price. Now this is one way. In a simpler language, I want to dictate one sentence, please. So basically when you multiply conversion factor into future price, you get cash to be received. Now in a simple way, in a simple language, I want to dictate one language that will help you out. When a particular bond, let's put down one point, please. When a particular bond when a particular bond is delivered delivered. A parameter known as a parameter known as its conversion factor a parameter known as its conversion factor defines the price defines the price received by defines the price received by party with short position. Sir, why are we using this word short position? Because I'm short in the market. That's why I have to give the delivery. I have to buy and give the delivery. That is the reason short position comes into picture, Nalai. Because I am already short in the market, and because since I'm short in the market, I have to deliver the bond by purchasing the bond. So this is basically what I'll be receiving when a particular bond is delivered. A parameter known as its conversion factor defines the price to be received by party with short position. So I can also put the above formula what I put instead of putting that language. I can put a very decent language. That means what will be my cash inflow? Cash received by party. I can put this way. This cash received cash received party by party with short position with short position will be equal to conversion factor into future settlement price or a future price or I think quoted future price. Interchangeably they use the word. Interchangeably they use the word. Copy that part, please. So basically when a particular bond is delivered, a parameter known as conversion factor defines the price received by party. Yes. So we can have this. That means what would be my cash inflow, sir? What would be my cash inflow when I go for this kind of a bond? We can now see the example, please, once again. Can I see the example once again, please? Yes. Can I see the example? Yes. So that comes out basically when I multiply what? When I multiply, do not copy example till, please. Do not copy example. So that will be this part and this part, this part and this part and this part and this part. Now that is okay. Now I have to deliver any one of them. Which bond to deliver? If I buy first, my cost of purchase would be I think 99.5. If I buy the second, the cost would come out as what? 143.5. Let's suppose if I buy the third, 119.75. So what is the cost of purchase? Cash received. Difference of them would come what? Would be whatever gives me the least cost, cheapest, cheapest, cheapest to deliver. I call it as B. Technically call it as cheapest to deliver, least cost or maximize profits. That bond will collect and give it. Let me dictate few more terms and then we can summarize. That question summarizing is not the challenging part, please, at all. Let's put down second term, please. Let's put down cheapest to deliver. Cheapest to deliver. Let's put down the CTD. First point, the cheapest to deliver is the bond that minimizes difference difference between the quoted spot price that minimizes the difference between the quoted spot price of bond and the future settlement price. price, but obvious, adjusted by what? In bracket we can put down, please. In bracket we can put down the CTD is the bond that minimize difference between quoted spot price of bond and future settlement price, adjusted by conversion factor. Adjusted by conversion factor. Why it is called, sir, CTD? It is because the cost is the least, profit maximum or cost least. We generally say cost is the least. So it is called CTD because it is called CTD because it is the least expensive bond. It is the least expensive bond. It is the least expensive bond in the basket of deliverable bonds. The basket of deliverable bonds. So basically that is what you multiplied future settlement price into adjusted conversion factor and difference of quoted spot price. So whichever the cost comes least, that is the bond. Now I can put another language here. Put down the second language, please. CTD. Let's put down second language, please. Let's put down second language, please. CTD is determined by CTD is determined by difference between CTD is determined by difference between cost of acquiring bond cost of acquiring the bond for delivery cost of acquiring the bond for delivery and the price received by CTD is determined by difference between the cost of acquiring the bond for delivery and the price received by delivering the acquired bond. The price received by delivering the sir, we will have profit or loss. Anything can come. Anything can come. We'll see that. Don't worry. We'll see that. That means some inflow would be there for buying a bond. Outflow would be there. Difference of them would be either gain or loss. Loss has to minimum. That bond I'll pick up and deliver. Gain has to maximum. I'll pick up that bond and deliver any one of them. We do not look at prima facie the bonds are 99 cheaper than 150 or a 75 or a 98 cheaper than the 100 rupees. No, we look at their conversion factor count because the comparability cannot happen without that the conversion factor. So CTD is driven by difference between the cost of acquiring the bond for delivery and price received by delivering the acquired bond. The difference gives profit or loss. The difference gives, let's put down please, gives the profit oblique loss profit oblique loss to the seller of the futures. Our institute has given two formulas. I'll write two formulas, but otherwise if you write one also answer can come. I'll explain when we do two formulas. So basically it does not make a difference at all, please. I'll write both of them. The objective is cheapest means the least expensive, the profit of seller of futures. I'll write both of them. It's basically plus minus sign will come, nothing else. Now like I'll show that profit of seller of futures. Profit of seller of futures. So we'll have Future settlement price, that was future price. You can write future price or future settlement price into conversion factor. What you received, inflow, future. Future settlement price into conversion factor minus what? Quoted spot price. Quoted spot price of deliverable bond, which will be delivering. Quoted spot price of deliverable bond. In case loss has to be there, then buying would be more than what? Inflow. The cost would be more than what? Please copy that part. What would happen in case you'll have second formula you want to create on your own, please? Second formula, cost of purchasing bond. If the cost of purchasing bond is what? If the cost of purchasing bond is what, sir? We'll have loss of seller of futures. I'll make what? Now, like if I put the above formula only, it will come minus. So I'll change that out. Please. Quoted spot price. Quoted spot price deliverable bond minus future. And I'll do by one formula only, don't worry. I'll apply the second formula. If it comes, the cost is more, automatically cheapest, least cost, and profit buys highest. CTD bond will be 1. Let's put down the best part of it. CTD bond will be the 1. CTD bond will be 1, which either maximize what? Profit, or minimizes the loss. CTD bond will be 1, which either maximizes the profit or minimizes the loss. Now can we look at that example, please? Now I want to look at that example. It should be ultra clear. Things should be clear. Once we do, we can read once again. It does not make a difference. So what prices I'll buy? Look up, please. Whatever you've written, if you want to summarize by using that example, now look up, please. If I want to use that, before you copy, look up, please. My cost would be, if I am a short, my cost would be either this, or either this. I would buy any one of them, either this 99.5, either 143.5, 119.75. It appears, sir, 99.5 is cheapest. It is not so. My sale, when I sell, conversion factor into what? Future settlement price. When I multiply, this would be what? My receipt, this and this. Difference of these two. Quoted price, if I do quoted price minus conversion factor into future settlement price. Quoted price minus conversion factor into future settlement price. Cost minus this. Whichever gives me the least cost, I'll select that. Whichever gives me the least cost. So that is the only difference which comes out. Otherwise, anyone can see 99.5 is cheaper. So conversion factor plays an important role. Now you can copy. Now I'll dictate in a statement. In fact, first portion you can copy that part, please. Exactly same way. I'll write here. I'll write here, please. I'll write here. Find the CTT bond. Find the CTT bond. if the party with short position find the CTD bond if the party with short position has decided to deliver, and is trying to choose between, the three bonds given above, find the CTD bond if the party with short position has decided to deliver and is trying to choose between the three bonds given above. You can write future settlement price. They can also write as the word quoted future price, but we'll write future settlement price, which is a common word I think could be used. Future settlement price or quoted future price also we can write. 93.25. Copy that example. We'll do that. Although you can do it very quickly, please. But we'll try to make some format. 99.5 is the quoted price at which you'll buy G, at which you'll buy, and accordingly we can make out. Basically, party with the short position can choose which is the available bond is cheapest to deliver. So when we say cheapest to deliver, we have to see, although we can still modify formula some other way also, but that's perfectly fine this way. There could be concept of accrued interest also, which is irrelevant. I think it is not required also. So cost of purchasing a bond, we know what is there. These are the cost of purchasing the bond. Copy that part out, then I'll discuss with you, please. And the cash to be received by party with the short position, we know what has to be there. Now can we put down the answer, please? Can we put down the answer, please? Yes, sir. Let's put down the answer. I hope you would have copied that part. Yes, sir. Let's put down the solution, please. You can make straightforward only. I'll make in a column format. Bond. We have a bond. Quoted price. Conversion factor. So this is 1. This is column number 2. Future settlement price. 3. You can use any of the formulas, please. I'll use the cheapest to deliver loss one, so automatically plus minus sign will understand, don't worry. Future settlement price into conversion factor. That means fourth would be equal to 2 into 3. Now what we'll do is we can look at the last formula, difference. If you look at your formula, please. If you look at your formula, please look up. If I see a future coming, if I see a profit coming in, if I see by chance a profit coming in, then you can multiply this part. If profit, I'll this part. If you want to see that loss, what I'll do is quoted price of a deliverable bond. What quoted price of deliverable bond? I'll use this part, quoted price minus this part. So if that comes positive, it's a kind of a loss. If that comes negative, it's a kind of a profit. Please understand. We can use any one of them, does not make a difference. No need to cram. It's only what is your buying price and what is your selling price. What is your buying price, what is your selling price. This price is my buying price. I am buying from the market, and this is at what I am giving the delivery at. That means basically, so I'll stick to this one only, a minus b, that means quoted price. So if the answer comes in the this part, if you want to apply the first one also, Automatically in the first one, if you apply, let's suppose first formula, if you apply and answer comes plus, it's a profit terminology. If you apply second, answer comes in the plus, it's the loss basically, because you are putting the cost price first here. So if I put the loss of the seller of future, because we generally assume it's a cheapest bond is which reduces my cost, it's a notion which comes out. So I'll apply the second one and minus this. If my answer comes in the plus, it's basically my cost is more than my cash inflow. If it comes as a by chance, if it comes as a minus, it means I'm getting a profit out of it. So let's do a minus b. So formula does not make a difference to me, please, I'm saying formulas does not make a difference to me. Formulas are only for the sake of cramming. If you want to do that, it's perfectly fine. So I can do my cost, purchase cost as the first one, and minus 4. If it comes positive, I am having a loss. If it comes negative, it will be a profit. So I have how many bonds? 1, 2 and 3 bonds I had. Can I see the quoted prices of them, please? That means my purchases price 99.5, 75 conversion factor. Future settlement price, they gave you what? 93.25. Now can we multiply these two? Can we multiply these two? Can we multiply these two and get some term? Yes sir. 1.0382 into 96.81. 1.5188 into 141.63. 117.63. Is that fine? And what rate I purchased? This is my cost. So if I do 99.99.5 and delivered at 96.81, I get 2.69. It is coming what? Cost, because I purchased at this, sold at this. 143.5 minus 141.63. My cost 1.87. If I buy at 119.75 minus sorry 119.75, yes, minus 117.63, my cost come 2.12. Now can you read these terms? That means if I deliver the first bond, my costing is 2.69. If my deliver the second, my cost is 1.87. If I deliver the third, my cost is what? 2.12. What? 2.12. Which bond is cheapest? Which is giving you the cheapest cost? Which is giving the cheapest cost? Bond 2, sir. So we'll write what? We'll write what? Yes sir, we'll write the cheapest to deliver bond is bond 2. The cheapest to deliver is bond 2 because it minimizes what? Your cost. It minimizes your what, sir? Cost. I hope things are clear. Can we summarize now? What happens is, yes sir, we can summarize once. Look up, please. Look up. Look up. I'm summarizing it, please. I'm summarizing it. So that is cheapest to deliver. Conversion factor. What is conversion factor, sir? Since different bonds have different maturities and coupon rates, to make them look comparable, we have a concept called conversion factor. conversion factor for each delivery is published by NSE. That's fine, sir. Now what will it give you when you multiply conversion factor? When you multiply conversion factor into future price, you get actual delivery price for a given deliverable bond. Actual delivery price. In simple words, I explained one more language. When a particular bond is delivered, when a particular bond is given, the parameter known as a conversion factor defines the price received by party with short position. Who is the party with short position? Who has the commitment to deliver? Who has the commitment to deliver? That means cash to be received by party with short position. So when I multiply conversion factor into future price, conversion factor into future price, when you multiply conversion factor into future price, you get cash to be received. That's fine. Now I'll have to buy bond also, na. I'll have to buy bond. At what rate I'll buy? That is quoted price. At what rate I'll buy? That is quoted price. So that quoted price, when I buy the bond from the market and deliver the bond, difference of them could be a loss or could be a profit. So formulas accordingly you can make. Cost, basically, if you want to remember for a simple language, it's a buying minus sale price, buy price minus sale price, and whichever gives me the least cost is called cheapest, so we had cheapest to deliver. That means cheapest to deliver bond is what? That minimizes difference between quoted spot price, at what rate I'll buy, future settlement price, into conversion factor, what we did in the top just now. It is called the CTD because it's the least expensive bond out of the given bonds, out of the given. So you can have n number of bonds, out of that what is the least expensive bond. CTD is determined by difference between cost of acquiring, what rate we acquire, and the bond for delivery, and the price by delivering that bond. So we acquired and we delivered, difference of them. Difference could be a profit or a loss. Formulas could be, if you put sale price first, and this, if it comes positive, it's a profit. If I have a cost and then a selling price comes out, it's a basically what comes out, loss comes out. So a positive number, in my case it was coming loss. So CTD will be one which gives either maximizes profit or minimizes loss. In our example which we took just now, if you look at what was the example we had, the example we had was, I dictated, in fact it could have been made a much shorter. The quoted price available was, these were the available bonds, but we never look at 99.5 and say 99.5 is the cheapest. The conversion factors were given, and then we have to, the party who has a short position, he has to buy any one of them, and has to buy any one of them out of the three bonds given above, basically 1, 2 and 3. Which bond has to be there? The settlement price is given 93.25. When you multiply 93.25 into these factors, we get what? The cash to be received, and this is our kind of a purchase price. Difference of these to be the cost which comes out, either cost or profit. So what I applied, the concept was, which we have applied here, was the quoted price was available, CF, future settlement price. When you multiply both of them, beta, when you multiply both of them, you get what? 96.81. You get 96.81, and this is your purchase price. So your cost comes 2.69. In this cost comes this. In this cost come 2.12. The cheapest is this part which comes out 1.87. I hope it makes a sense. We never look at the bond price into it. Is that fine? Yes. So that is basically CTD bond or conversion factor. Is that fine? Yes, sir.